What's up, everyone? Draftapalooza back today, Monday, August 24th. We are pretty much, we're basically there, guys. Football season's around the corner. Redraft season is upon us. And this is it. This is the time to put full focus into fantasy football, into the draft, into all that good stuff. So we are doing it. Wanted to go over, and again, shout out to Deepak Chona, my favorite Twitter doctor. All right, so this guy is absolutely my top guy, my go-to for medical news and info. We could do a DraftKings one. I want to check out the Drafters Survivor contest. That one actually really excites me, and I want to get a bunch of entries going for that. It's like the Eliminator, except every week, instead of 50% being wiped out, 25% are wiped out. So even more chance to kind of advance through this thing, and if you build a pretty well-rounded team. And I love that approach. What's up, Mile High Soup? I feel like I got a DM from you today, Mile High, but I didn't see anything new in there, but your name was lit up in my Discord. So if you sent me something, I didn't see it. That being said, so we're going to do, first let's go over Dr. Deepak Chona. And he just talks about injury risk of players in each round here. So, it's kind of important. It's kind of important to understand, like, the risk. So lowest injury risk, round one, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase, JSN, Arsby, and James Cook. All right, we already know that for that group. Young, no injury history really for that crew. Medium. Puka. Some injury issues throughout his career. Concerns, right? Higher injury risk than the other guys. Jonathan Taylor has been hurt a couple times as well, getting up there in age. So a little bit of risk there. And of course, the highest injury risk right now is Christian McCaffrey in round one. And Ashton Jeanty is just a big mystery with the ankle situation right now. Oh, yeah. Best ball rankings should be easy to do off of my sheet. I've been updating it. I don't have an update in there for Jeanty as of yet, because I'm not really sure what's going on there. So that's the only player that probably isn't updated in my best ball rankings as of this moment. I've been trying to regularly update them. I got some other info, but let's go to round two. Barkley, not a great year last year. Some injury history for him. Drake London gets hurt a lot. People forget about Drake London getting hurt a lot. And of course, just reminding us that Brown had some hammy issues last year. And of course, we lost most of the season with Bowers last year. That sucked if you drafted Bowers in round two. That was just a fluke. Round three, we got Malik Neighbors. Concerns, but not super concerns. High reward. Jeremiah Love, banged up right now. Concerns there. I'm not a big fan of Jeremiah Love this year. Scattaboo, of course, just coming off the injury, and his crazy playing style increases that injury rate. I don't know how Scattaboo's a round three guy, but yeah. For the first quarter contest, some of you guys are asking about it. In order to do the first quarter contest, I need to do a study, which I can really quick, but I haven't done it. I need to do a study of matchups for the first 4 weeks. I think that will be key. Understanding those matchups, and I haven't done it, so I don't want to draft that without an edge. Early round injuries. So Emeka Egbuka coming off of has a turf toe right now. We don't know what the story is. Concerns. Bucky Irving, I don't like Bucky Irving for other reasons, and I don't get how he's a early round guy. Burden got the groin. Should be full go. Getting a discount on Luther Burden right now. Mike Evans is somebody I've been avoiding just for these reasons. Hammy injuries, age. I've just avoided Mike Evans completely this year. I've said it over and over again that if Mike Evans stays healthy all year, he'll probably have a really, really good year. But the guy is a perpetual Q-tech. So, I don't see why you'd want to take the risk on Mike Evans when there are other really good players available with that pick. Let's see here. Tucker Kraft. Strong play, 4 to 6 week volume ramp. So Tucker Kraft is coming off an injury as well. We'll see. Jonathan Brooks, 18 months removed from the surgery. I've been talking up Jonathan Brooks all season. Should be fully back to health. Stephon Diggs, 1 year post ACL. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. I don't need the rest of the fantasy football advice, but a little bit of injury updates. Now, a couple of other DFS Army updates. My official draft kit is live on the DFS Army website. It's available in the Discord as well. And this is a tool I built to help you draft your redraft teams. You're going to dominate redraft. I took a look at the ESPN and Yahoo rankings right now and Sleeper. And my goodness, they are way off. So if your league is a league that drafts based on ADP, you're going to be able to take major edges using this tool. You're just going to kind of the draft board itself. So you're going to just draft along. This will give you the rankings. I also show you here where my picks differ significantly from ADP, Neighbors, and Rice, plus 10. I got Ladd McConkey way above consensus. You guys know this already. I've got DJ Moore massively above the consensus right now. I got Allen and Jeremiah Love well below consensus. I do not believe in drafting Josh Allen in rounds 2 or 3 in your redraft league. Let the sucker do that. Trust me. Let the sucker do that. Montgomery, some negative news about him. By the way, you click on the player, you get my notes here. But Montgomery, some negative news came out about him in terms of him splitting with time with Woody Marks. Do I believe it? I lean no. I still think Montgomery is going to end up being the main guy and the workhorse. I don't think it's going to be Woody, but the information coming out does not agree. Parker Washington, Christian Watson, 2 guys I have massively above field. And weirdly, even though I don't love Mike Evans at all, somehow I have him ahead of consensus as well. But that does not mean I like him. I haven't drafted him even once. I just don't know what's going on with this consensus, but I'm not going to change my ranking based off of it. Anyway, so yeah, we have this draft kit here. You got my Geek Avoids, players I'm avoiding this season, Sleepers, players I'm targeting as sleepers, my just general favorite guys, guys that I kind of reach a little bit for when I can. You guys have been with me all season long. And this is one of my favorite tabs on the draft kit. It is handcuffs to own. So really important. The way I fill up my redraft bench is first I'm trying to handcuff my running backs, but I'm trying to get a couple of handcuffs for other people's running backs as well. One of the cool things when you draft this way, especially in a league that has kickers and defenses, when you're planning on taking these handcuffs, they last until the very last pick. So what you do is you take the kicker a couple of rounds early, get your Brandon Aubrey. You take your defense a couple of rounds early, get your Seattle, Denver defense in there. Be the best on defense and kicker. Everybody's advice about not doing that, I believe, is wrong. You want to do that so you don't have to bother all season doing a thing where you're cycling through defenses based on matchups every single week. Nope. Just get a stud defense and then spend the last 2 picks on handcuffs that are available. These guys are just readily available. Tank Bigsby, you can get him. Jalen Wright, Keaton Mitchell, whoever it is, they're just available with those last couple of picks. So it's a little bit of cheat code for your redraft league if you enjoy redraft. DFS Army Draft Kit available to all DFS Army subscribers. Whatever you are, whatever subscription you have, does not matter. It's available in the Discord, and it is available, should be available on the DFSARMY.com website very, very soon. So one other thing I want to show you guys before we jump into our draft is the playbook. This is really important. Under NFL category on DFS Army, we're going to go to playbooks right here. And this is where you can get all of the work I've done on AI and back testing and data diving this offseason. Part of my entire goal this offseason was learn AI and use it to leverage getting better at DFS, right? So, AI is bad, AI slop. No, I'm using it to dive in data, do things that I've never been able to do, to run millions of back tests using the domination station and the sim boost rules, which no one else has. So I've run millions of optimizations and lineups, and back test season starts tonight, where we're going to go through all that I've learned. But before we even get to that, you've got your Cracking the DFS Code book for main slates, The Showdown Codex, which literally breaks showdowns. We're winning 20% of showdowns. I think I'm going to do showdown backtesting tonight to demonstrate this on a live stream. So stick around for that. How to stack showdown. So the book explaining everything I learned, doing millions of lineups and backtesting, millions. I had to buy a $5,000 computer with more RAM than any computer ever in order just to achieve this, because my regular computer would just break. Okay. I am not fucking around when I tell you we are here to dominate DFS this year using our domination station optimizer, using this data. So you're going to have an exciting season. I take it very, very serious. My main slate backtesting journey and the final settings I came up with. There's a booklet here for that. And of course, the Shark Study, which is just a fun read about top ranked. I'm not going to say top ranked pros. I'm going to say the highest volume DFS players that Roto Grinders tracks, and not everybody's tracked, but I got those guys. I took the top 20 by volume NFL players. I broke down their game. What do they do? What kind of settings? What approaches? Do they go all in? Do they fade the chalk? What are they doing? And an interesting, we learned that everybody, they all have really different approaches, which is really interesting. And none of them use, except for the biggest loser ones, the ones who lose the most money, most of them don't use a generic approach. Most of them do go heavy on player leans or heavy on fading chalk all the time. They have consistent approaches, and you learn it in the Shark Study book. Again, nothing that I could have ever done without the power of AI. So yes, did I use AI for this? Of course I did, because I could never study data in that way without leveraging artificial intelligence to help me look at the data, look at the interest, and all of that. Kanger backtesting starts tonight, 8 o'clock tonight. That is for DFS Army members exclusive. I'll post that link in the DFS Army Discord. If you're not a DFS Army subscriber, why would you want to see our backtesting using our optimizer? No one else has access to an optimizer like that. It will not help you, which is why I keep it for VIP only. But we're going to get, I think I'm going to do, Kang, I think I'm going to do showdowns tonight. I'm going to shift to main slate. Maybe we'll do like this week showdowns, and then next week we'll shift to main slate contests. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We've still got a little bit of time on the calendar here. So while I'm doing that, let's try getting in one of these Survivor Leagues. Actually, I should have done that before I started talking, because I don't know how long it will take for this thing to fill up. So I'm going to try it. I would like to have my own rankings in here. Let's see if I can figure out, how do you upload your own rankings on this site? Hold on a second. All right, let me take a look at this. Oh, import, export. I don't have my thing set up for this site, but I wonder if I just import my rankings, if I could do it. I wonder. Load rankings. Let me try something. We are waiting to start off that draft. So in the meantime, I'm going to try to see if I can do a rankings upload of some sort. Let's see here. DK. We'll look at the DK upload. I'm just going to go something like that. This, yeah, Diego knows. Listen, if you're not part of DFS Army and you're doing daily fantasy sports, I really don't know what it is that you're hoping for, but you ain't getting it. I promise you that. You ain't getting it elsewhere. You ain't getting it elsewhere. I've looked around the industry, guys. What we're doing for our members is like nothing else. In terms of the price, you know, our NFL package monthly. All right, let me try. So Case Sizzle says you load rankings. It lets you load your CSV, then you update and name the rankings, upload them to Draft. I'm going to try it with let's try it with my rankings here. I don't know. I have an ID file here, but let me download this. Let me see if a classic, I don't know. All right, let's try this. Rankings, export. Let's import this. I don't know. I don't think the file is going to match. I think I probably have to use their don't have any set saved. All right, let me try this. Drafters players. I probably have to. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this. I would have to I would have to build this to drafters, maybe. Not really sure, but I might be able to figure it out. So let's try here while we wait for that contest to start. I'm going to assume that I am waiting on one. Upcoming. No upcoming? Did I not just enter one? Let me try this again. Oh, here we go. 5 more join. Okay, we are waiting on a survivor. Need 5 more to join. Very good. All right. In the meantime, like I said, I'm going to give this a try and see if I can't upload my ranking. I should have done this before, but I didn't. So whatever. All right. Let me open that. Cancel drive. Let's open this file. We're going to do it in our drive. Let's do it. What to do about Genty in this draft? I'm just going to not draft him, especially in a survivor. But that's pretty much it. Unless he drops, like I'm not going to take him at ADP. But if we get a bargain, I would do it. Okay, so I have an idea. No, I'm going to have to match name with ID. It's not going to work. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm looking at this and I do not have a way to update this without getting their IDs, and I am not skilled enough to figure that out. So not going to happen. Let's go back to the lobby and wait for our contest to start here. Ooh, Kang. There we go. We already like Ramondre. Forgot about Dre. Come on, baby. Let's go. My teams. Upcoming. Here it is. Why does it do that? I don't want to unregister. What is this? My teams. Upcoming. I don't even know what it's doing here. Registering. All right. So the one downside right now that I'm seeing for drafters is it does take a while till we fill up this contest. So guys, if you want to check out drafters, by the way, and you want to draft in this draft, this contest is really interesting. The survivor. I love it. And I'm going to be loading up on this contest. Of course, you can go to drafters. Promo code DFS Army will get you a $100 deposit match up to $100 deposit. I'm also going to be giving away a free entry to their main contest today. So any of you guys who have an account on Drafters, we're going to do it again. We're going to do another giveaway. Every day that we do this, we're doing a giveaway of a $15 ticket into one of the Drafters main event contest. So guys in the chat, I'm going to ask in a minute who has a Drafters account, who hasn't gotten a free ticket yet. If you haven't signed up at Drafters, go do it now. For $100, you'll get, let's call it 20 entries into either the survivor. So like a $10 contest, you're going to get in for 5. You get 20 entries, and they give away free tickets for like every 5 that you do. So basically the value proposition is really, really good. These guys are going out for business, as they say, trying to get as many people on the platform as they can, just like any other site. But right now, the other sites aren't giving us any bennies. No bennies. Downside again. Biggest downside is this freaking site takes too long to fill the contest. Can't do it on the stream. Guys, best ball, $10 survival championship. Get in there. Let's fill it. Let's fill this thing. I can't tell how many more people we need in order for it to fill. Yeah, there he is. Raider Rob. Fill this bitch. That's what's up. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like there's way more than enough people in this. 5 more needed still. What the hell, guys? Come on, guys. Let's fill this thing up. Maybe I can't do survivors on the live stream. Maybe I got to do the other one. Should I try to do both? Should we draft 2 simultaneous? Can I draft 2? I don't even know if I can pull it off. Haven't tried it. Is it even interesting to watch while streaming? See, if I had uploaded my rankings. There it is, Peter Sharon. All right, because I want to fill this thing. And if I could figure out how to upload my rankings, which I can, but I have to adjust the actual ranking sheet in order to pull it off. But if I could figure out how to adjust my rankings, I would let the survivors auto draft. There we go. Mad Dog 66 is in the house. Put the call out, Tebow time. I don't know where the call goes, but put the call out. Let's fill this bad boy. This is a survival. I love this contest concept. 75% advance every single week. So you just start to whittle and whittle and whittle and whittle away slowly. I can't really find the full rules in terms of like how, let's see here. It doesn't show. Yeah, here we go. 125 person final. So the downside of this format, they do keep you in there all the way to week 17 on these 75% eliminators. And it looks like instead of the way that Underdog does it, where you're just matched up in a head-to-head each week, it looks like on this site, it is the entirety of the site. So this version of the eliminator really does actually eliminate a lot of the guesswork in terms of the luck, right? On Underdog in the Survivor, luck is a factor. You know, after week 1, you're getting matched up one-on-one against someone. If they happen to pop, they're going to eliminate. They could put up like an average score on Underdog for the eliminator is about a 110, right? That usually is what it takes to advance. But on Underdog, sometimes you get like a 136 and you go up somebody who popped for a 145 and one of your best teams gets knocked out and you never know what the potential could have been, unburdened by what has been, right? So in this one, the way they do it, it looks to be against the entire player pool. Every single week, 25% get eliminated. So as long as you don't have a stinker in there, so you got to build a team that doesn't get a stinker, and you can make it all the way to the end here, to week 15, where the 50% start, and then week 17 on the final. Let's see how they pay. Oh, and you get little bonus tickets if you draft a bunch of teams, whatevs. Whatevs, right? Let's see here. How does this pay? All right, so the payouts, if you make it to that final contest, the 125 person main event, yeah, you got to make your way up to the top of the list here, but first, second, third. It's kind of flat. I don't mind that. I like that a little bit. Top 10 is going to be pretty nice, but of course, you're really going to want that top 5 pick to really get a little jolt of happiness here at the end. So let's think about this. If I put 20, let's say I put 20 lineups in this thing. They give me a bunch of free shit along the way for all the lineups, right? It cost me $100 to put 20 lineups in this. And I believe that I can get most of those lineups, all the way through towards these last weeks. So let's say you come into week 16, you're in that final week, and you've got, 5 entries left out of 20. You're sitting pretty good. Give yourself a shot at that top 5 finish. Get that $5,000. And it really only just costs you the same as your average ordinary fantasy football league, $100, right? I put $100 in, I get a $100 match, 20 lineups in this contest, and give yourself a shot at $50,000. I'll take that over a fantasy football league. Guys, we still are looking to try to fill this contest up. How many we have? How do you know how many are left? I still can't figure it out. Like, how do you know how many are still needed? Go to league home. Yeah, I don't see where you can even tell. 2 more needed, guys. Come on. Let's go. Give me 2 more. That's what happens when I switch it to that's what contest info. Where does that? Let's go. Lalsimo in the house. So go back to the window I was just in, and you said under contest info. I don't even see a contest info. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? We're up to 10 of. I don't see it. I don't know. Are my eyes broken? Why don't I see it? This window? Info. Oh, here we go. Draft now. 11 of 12. There we go. One more. That's where it is. I see it. Yep. No, here it is. 11 of 12, guys. One more needed. Man, this took too long, though. 25 minutes. I could have done a whole underdog draft while waiting. We could have drafted a whole underdog team. That's all right. We chatted. We talked about some important things. Again, the playbook, guys. This is it. This is all the knowledge in one spot. Set it up for everybody. Easy to grab. This is what's going to give DFS Army an edge over everybody else. Everybody else is selling, you know, if you knew what other companies are doing, it ain't prepping for the season. Not like this. Not diving deep. Not rethinking all of the rules of DFS. Now that we have the power of AI to help guide what we're doing. No one else is doing that, and I like that. I prefer it. They will next year. They'll copy. But not yet. That's the edge. One more, guys. Come on. One more player. We're waiting on one. Yeah, your draft kit. Are you kidding me? Everybody's drafting their teams right now. I want you to dominate your local leagues. I love fantasy football. That's my first goal. I mean, that's really where I come from. I come from the world of somebody who plays a lot of fantasy football and loves that format. Keeping it real. Here we go. Let's go. We are live. Survivor. I should have brought Tony Squares on here for the Survivor draft. Just, it's appropriate. Tony Squares next time. Got to get T-Squiz. I am picking third. Not my favorite. Not my favorite spot. But we're gonna roll with it. I'm really curious to see how the ADPs play out on drafters relative to regular, you know, Best Ball Mania or the standard contests. So it did take a while, guys, to fill it, and that's not super fun. I watched a little bit of So You Think You Can Tout, Tebow Time, and I have to say, I have to give credit, very much credit to Pete Overzet for putting together such a nicely produced and well thought through contest. And for those of you guys who don't do content like this, I'm going to tell you right now, it's difficult to pull off. Like, it takes a lot of care, and especially, you know, it didn't really get a ton of views. It didn't like blow up in that way, but I would agree that like important people watched it, and more importantly, just proof of like doing a really good job of thinking it through with the you know, planning and all of that. So wow, could not give higher compliments to Pete Overset on putting that together. The man is a true entertainer and a very good host. So, you know, props. That's really great. Love to see it. Love to see it. As far as the guys that came out of it, yeah, I think the correct person won. The Kid Cups analytics seems very dedicated and like somewhat credible. And I understand why he beat out maybe the other two guys who were also very good. Tony Squares, my personal favorite, but not really exuding more. I just enjoy the personality. He seems like a guy I'd be friends with. But as far as the you know, the credibility, as you know, I think Cup Analytics really dominated the credibility side of it. Here we go. James Cook, Pick 8 overall ahead of Jonathan Taylor. But other than that, I mean, this is going pretty chalk. Yeah. Is it because we're older, Tebow time? Is that what it is? We just tend to vibe with the this someone a closer of age. I don't know. There's Chaz, bro. I like it. I like him there. Made Omarion. That's a little too soon. I don't know which one of these guys are you guys. Mad Dogs is in here. A bunch of the people in this draft are probably in this chat. Yeah. Yeah, I think all those guys have a nice future. And, listen, it's a hard industry to get into like fantasy football as a content creator that doesn't own a site or doesn't have some ownership of something that you're doing. I will say it's hard to do. It's hard to have your own site too. It's all tough, but people live in the dream, man. That's the dream. If you love fantasy football, your dream was, hey, can I work in the space of fantasy football? And so that's what they do. There's Ashton Janty. So, dice rolled there, especially an eliminator. It's obviously a dangerous pick. You got to start fast. You can't start slow. Yeah, I'm just going to sort by the site ADP, and hopefully that will guide how this goes. Brady Viper. Again, I'm not sure who's who, but while we're doing this, guys, since the draft has begun, I'm going to do another randomizer giveaway for a $15 ticket to the Drafters main event. They've basically told me if I do a Drafters draft on stream, I can give one away. And I'm not giving it. Drafters is giving it. So I was like, all right, give my people. Take care of my people. Okay. Fine by me. Drake, Dreezy, Olave, or AJ Brown. I'm going Olave. I have a lot of AJ Brown, and I love Olave now with the other kid out. So, yeah. But anyway, back to just so you think you can tout, guys, for those of you who are watching it here who don't know what that is, that was a show. Basically, it was like a competition to see if you can be a fantasy football best ball bro kind of personality on, there's a little bit of a prize, but the whole thing was really well produced. I enjoyed it. And you also saw the difference between somebody who is good at content and somebody who isn't good at content, which a lot of the guys were not. So, that's part of it. That's absolutely part of it. You learn that some people are just not very good at that. Let's see here. Should I go Malik or Smith? I say YOLO. Let's go Malik, even though I'm a little nervous about him in this format. But we got 3 super stud wide receivers already for this PPR format. I like that. Let's go here. Yeah, showdown video. Brandon, you are going to get your mind blown. It really will blow your mind. The amount of correlations that we have to build into every single showdown approach is crazy. And I'm telling you, you have no idea how much effort and millions of lineups run to come up with it. I was trying to get to a 25% win rate where I could feel confident that not that you're going to win 25% of the time, but with 3 clicks of the optimizer at 300 lineups a pop, that one of those clicks at minimum would win, right? Because I don't mind. Yeah, it's 20%. Now, it's not exact 20. Let me clarify. If you read through how it works, some of those occasions we won on one of the clicks, not all 3, because we're using a lot of randomization. So I had to smooth out the results. You can't just base your approach when you're using randomization on one click. How many runs of the optimizer hits the nuts? That was my approach, and that was how I designed the back test and all of it. How many runs of the optimizer until you produce a win? And sometimes you never produced a win, but we did 3 clicks of 300 lineups. 300 lineups is pretty standard. What I'll actually put in for a showdown this year, you have contests that allow for it on Draftkings. I'll probably, it makes me want to do the $15, but I'll need to win a few before I do that. I'll do the $5 ones. I really want to encourage DraftKings to actually open up some more contests, but I don't know how to get to them to get them to do it. I've told them before. I'm actually gonna, maybe I'll write a public post on Twitter, kind of telling them, listen, this is what I want to see, and I represent the people. The people want to see these content. I want DraftKings to put on a Survivor content. There's DJ Moore. Look where he went. Okay, that's not ADP. Like, I want DraftKings to increase the number of, $3 max entry contests, even $2 ones that they're doing. I want a Survivor contest on DraftKings. Why the fuck did they stop doing that? Not just September. I like all of the Survivor formats for DFS. They're fun. It makes me want to, the same way I'm doing this one. Yeah, same Tebow time. We're on the same page. I think DraftKings didn't like it because they didn't make as much money, those fucks. Right? They're not making as much money when you're only entering one contest. But fuck that. Man, forget that. Not cool. Not cool, DraftKings. Not cool. I think it's a big mistake for Doctade to take Josh Allen in round 3 and Brock Bowers in round 2. That's a lot of luxury picks. We'll see how that works out. Maybe it's going to work out great, though. I don't know. Let's see what's going on here. Yep. I mean, it's time, right? We got to get into our boy David Montgomery season. Let's roll. I got to get my running backs. I've got 3 wide receivers. Got to get some RB talent on the team. My 3 wide receivers are so studly. They could literally hold down wide receiver for me all season. Fantasy Spots 1 just came out, and I got number 1 this year. Fantasy Spots just came out. So I'm assuming you're talking about your redraft league and your pick number 1. And that is a wonderful pick to start your fantasy league with. Hello, Jahmyr Gibbs. Nice to know you. Let's hang out. 61. I've got to take another running back here, guys. And it's between Tootin and Jadarian. I just like Jadarian Price a lot. But I think we got to go. Let's go Tootin. He's healthy. Jadarian Price banged up a little bit. Yeah, number 1 overall pick. One of the best picks. Again, if you want my full draft kit, it's available in the Discord. This will help you work that draft. Just figure out what league you're in, click over to it, and it will full rankings for you. So make sure to check that out. 37 cool Cal. Here we go. Parker Washington. Again, sharp room. Everybody knows what to do. If you look at your redraft league, this is what I'm saying. If you guys are hanging out doing these with us, your redraft league is going to have very different ADPs, and you're going to be able to dominate that league. Because like Parker Washington's like 80, 70. The ADPs are crazy. Now, I don't know how often. I'm not in Yahoo leagues anymore. I don't really have ESPN leagues where I have like normie friends that I draft against in those kind of leagues. Everybody I know at this point is sharp. They're all on Sleeper. They all know what they're doing. Every league I'm in has a bunch of people that know what they're doing. So I don't really get those kind of take advantage of them leagues, or not many. Technically, I have one that fits that bill. Trevion Henderson. Yeah, questionable. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Lamar Jackson goes. I'm enjoying this. How popular. Listen, this is very important. Oh, I'm up in Sleeper. Okay, I'll go make that pick at some point. What the hell, bro? I'll do it on stream. Let's stream that pick. But give me a second here. Let me just answer this. If Mike Washington starts and Genti is out, Mike Washington will be one of the most popular plays NFL Week 1. The matchup is as good of a matchup as Raiders RB is going to have all season. That's the best matchup this week. So absolutely going to be somebody that he's absolutely going to be someone that is super popular. I was already plugging Genti into leagues. I'm on the clock. All right, let's go do this pick. Give me a second. I got an hour and 20 minutes. Let me think. Double. That's all right. Just give me a second here. All right. This is This is a friend league that we're doing, best ball members leagues. Oh yeah, the first one was the way too early preview. I think let me look at the calendar, but probably next week, early next week, 2 weeks in advance of so early next week, I'll do the final and appropriate. Ooh, there goes Ramondre. I was hoping you guys forgot about Dre. Damn. Where was I? So yeah, I will have another DraftKings week 1 and FanDuel week 1. We're going to have tournament tactics for week 1. We got a new show coming out for week 1, diving in the numbers, although I don't know how many numbers we're going to be able to dive into for week 1, but we'll see. So we have a lot going on, of course, for NFL week 1. Tournament tactics will be back this year. Showdown breakdowns for all those shows. We're going to be, for the showdown breakdown, on top of just the showdown breakdown, I'm going to be diving into my data research for every showdown and putting out a write-up describing how the data says to attack that specific showdown. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. That'll be a lot of fun as well. Jalen Warren goes. Jonathan Brooks goes. Oof. 80. We're at 70. It's amazing how kind of changes the meta here. Let's go Drake May here. Let's get a stud quarterback since the quarterback run is about to start, and I have Drake May as my number 2 overall quarterback this year, so I would do that. For a basic build, should we exclude QB favored by more than 7 points? Yes. Yes. So when you are handcrafting especially, we're not going to use these heavy favored quarterbacks, but more than 10 points is even more dramatic. The more they're favored, the more the data says to avoid them. Like 7 points is kind of tight. If they're running QB, I don't mind it. Play Corum. Wow. Henderson, Dowdle. Everybody just went. I guess we got to take Dobbins. No, it's too soon for that. Pollard, Corum, Mason I kind of like, but 91. It's just too reachy right now. I have no choice. You've given me no choice. I'm going to take Tucker Kraft. Yeah, this draft went very running back heavy early, which is probably the right way to do a survivor, at least a underdog survivor, but you don't need that here. This is full PPR. We can get away with having really good wide receivers and just okay quarterbacks. Where are you able to see the draft kit? Right now, the draft kit is mainly in the Discord. So I have it pinned in the Coach's Notes channel in the DFS Army Discord. They're putting it up on the website, but I haven't quite seen where it is yet. It should be under, let me see here. Let me see if it's there yet. It should be there under NFL season long. No. And if I look under, it's not there yet. So they're working on getting that up there. Yeah, it's not there yet. I saw notes in the background. Uppers Lad was talking about it, but it is not on the website yet. So you're going to have to get it from the Discord. Just grab the link in the Discord in the NFL Coaches Notes channel. If you're in DFS Army and you're not in our Discord because you don't know what Discord is or you're too boomer to figure it out, which I get. I'm all that too. I'm fucking boomer. Not really. Gen X motherfuckers, right? But have a hard time with technology. Heisenberg, back test season starts tonight at 8 o'clock. You are not tripping, but we're going to be doing a ton of back testing. We're going to start with showdowns this week, and then we'll move on to main slates probably next week. But I don't know if I'm going to do them every single day of this week. I know we'll do a bunch of back test streams this week starting tonight. Now, why don't I know exactly when and what days? Because sometimes my wife wants to go out to dinner. Just keeping it real. I don't know in advance. What if my lady wants dinner? Can't go. That's the only thing. But yes, we're going to backtest the shit out of all of. We got to learn the approaches, especially for showdowns. It's a very complicated. It's a lot of optionality that you got to put in there, and then there's that you can do it what I call informed or uninformed. We have a setup. I have setups for 20 maxers for people who are just going to handcraft some lineups. The Showdown Codex literally unleashes the secrets. All right, I'm going with Mason. I think he's a starting running back. Corum would be okay, but I'm going with Mason here. How many rounds we have? 20 rounds. Brutal. Too many rounds. Too many rounds. In this format, by the way, we'll survive weeks. Like you can actually find running backs with upside late. I would expect that I'm just going to make it to the end and that we want to have the best possible team for that last week. Do you have to pay a little bit of attention to bye weeks here? You don't want to overload your buys. I see I have 1, 2, 3 week 8. I've got 2 week 7, 2 week 6, a couple week 11. So this is a format where we do need to pay attention a little bit to these bye weeks and just make sure to build enough diversity. I see I have a lot of diversity at Mahomes. So quarterbacks are starting to peel away as well. I'll take my boy Jack Sizzle's dart. Going to leave him for me. I'm going to take him. Pair him up with neighbors, although stacking is not something that is relevant here. It's actually negative relevance. What is relevant is understanding that, like, if I don't have tight ends scoring for me at the tight end position every single week, I'm not going to advance. If I don't have running backs that are healthy, and if I don't have wide receivers that are healthy, I'm not going to advance. So you just got to build a well-rounded team for a survivor format, similar to what we do for Underdog Eliminator. What I asked from you guys, not much. I don't ask much. Of course, sign up at DFS Army, promo code book right now. We're promoting the Cracking the Code DFS code book. So we got promo code book. If you're not signed up yet, go sign up, get 20% off any of our subscriptions. Do VIP, that's the best one. Covers all sports. You're going to want NBA. You're going to want NASCAR. You're going to want PGA. You're going to want MMA, in addition to NFL. In season, I'm only playing NFL. I can't split my mind, but you guys can. That's why we're here doing the work. Do all those sports. It's $99 a month. You get 20% off. You get it for $79 a month. And let me tell you something. Every other site is $300 a month for most of the sites are $300 a month just for NFL because they're greedy, corporate owned. The minute your favorite tout site got bought out by some European conglomerate, which most of them have, they just start raising prices, gouging their customers, and getting rid of their best people, getting rid of the heart and soul of the site. I promise you. Look around. I don't want to. I prefer not naming names, but that's what's going on in the industry right now. That's what's happening. Your favorite site from before got bought out. That's why it lost its heart and soul. That's why they got rid of all their best people, because all they're about is making money. That's why they're charging $300 a month. And you know who they are. The difference is DFS Army is still about DFS, by DFS players who love playing this. We're DFS players. Like I'm in the trenches with you. That's the difference. We're all in the trenches together. By players, for players, average Joes competing on a level playing field with DFS pros. And that's what we're doing. Our win rates are crazy. The DFS Army helmets everywhere, all at the, all along the leaderboards. You're going to see those helmets. That's what we're going to do this year. That's what we've always done. It's not new. We've been doing that for years. It's just going to be more of the same. We're going to dominate some best ball. I wish I could say I dominate best ball. I just don't have the personal stamina to draft enough teams to really dominate best ball. I think I'm going to dominate like the Eliminator. I think I'm going to have a good season in that. And now here on this site, I'm going to, if I could figure out how to upload lineups, I'm going to start doing some autos and just let it draft. I don't mind these. I'll draft that shit. I don't give a shit. Goddard is one of my favorite tight ends this year. Just make sure I'm not getting overlapping bye weeks here. Now we need some White 7, 7, 8, 6. I still need another running back here because of that one damn overlapping bye. Army so easy to use. Oh, there it is. Got third in MLB, $4.20 max. Did you guys see Sniper taken down first, fourth, fifth? Check this out. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. We do DFS. We play this. We play this. Where is that? How do I open that? Let me show you this. Here it is. Sniper. First, second, third. Have you ever even seen that? First, second, third. That's Sniper. Sniper could have used that win too. Really happy for him. This was just the other day. First, second, third. Using the techniques we discovered in AI backtesting on the domination station for MLB, which I've put out there. And it's a reason why you see so many DFSARMY members now winning these MLB tournaments. It's going to be like that for football as well, guys. It will be the same. How does this happen? First, second, third, it's impossible. There it is. Roy Schwartz. Yes. First of all, welcome to the team. And yes, your number one thing is we are going to start with backtesting. So Roy Schwartz, thank you for the question. Thank you for signing up. We appreciate you. I really do. You're part of the family. Number one is make sure you are joined in our Discord. You must be in the Discord to grasp everything that we're doing. But for season prep, there will be nothing that you can do that can surpass the backtesting that we're going to be doing. I will do streams of backtesting, but it's very important that you then take it your own level further. We have the backtest option. No one else has. It's another thing that we do specifically at DFS Army. We have backtest mode where you can go back in time on the domination station. This is why I had all the data. Thank goodness, right? And the only reason we have backtest mode is because I wanted to fucking backtest. So it's like, we need to set up archives and be able to be backtest shit, right? All of this was for players by players. But go on to backtest mode. First, join the backtest streams. Read for prep. Absolutely go to the playbooks here, and you need to go through these books. Read them all. Every single one is a good, comfortable read. People buying this book, Cracking the DFS Code, Showdown Codex. These are easy, fast reads that will get you up to speed on what we're doing, what went on, what the numbers are, what the correlations are, and you'll need the codex in season as a reference guide. So make sure you go to the playbooks, read those, and then we're going to do backtesting. We're going to do it together. Join my streams. If you can't join the stream, just jump on at some point. Fine. But be on the streams, learn how to backtest, do your own backtesting, because when you click the button and a win happens and you see it on the screen, even though it's in backtest mode, at least now you know what it feels like to click the button and do a tournament winning optimization. It will also give you confidence in our optimizer, which I believe our sim boost rules are the best in the industry. It gives you the most power as an end user. No one else really has anything like it. We're able to set the correlations. I'm not relying on some other cockamamie mysterious simulation. And oh, by the way, I don't think any other quote unquote simulation gives you any benefit. And I'll tell you why. I've tested it. Part of what I did in this offseason was I built, for example, I built contest simulators. I built simulators for fantasy points, all of it. None of it added anything to win rates. I checked it for millions and millions of lineups. Nothing added anything. It did not help win rates, which I suspected. And then when you do the shark, then when I did my shark study, it proved it. The same guys pitching, the same people pitching various sim things that you have to pay $300 a month for, contest simulations, and shit that you got to pay a fortune for, are simply not winning. They ain't winning shit. So what the fuck's going on there? They're not winning. Why would I do that? You don't have to pay $300 a month. DFS Army is $59 a month for NFL, or $299 for an entire 12-month package. And then you take 20% off. It's $240, $20 a month versus $300. And our tools are superior. Our projections are better and more accurate. There's a reason we keep winning projection accuracy contests over on Daily Overlay, which is the only site I know that checks them all. We got you covered. Projection accuracy, unfortunately, isn't the only thing that leads to DFS wins. As a matter of fact, it really doesn't particularly help you win DFS tournaments, because we need to get away from projections to find winning lineups, but it's the correlations and the player interactions with one another that lead to those wins. We're building lineups that look like tournament winning lineups. Yeah, backtest just helps you, get a feel for what it's going to take. What we're going to do in backtesting for main slates is we're going to start with the basic settings for each slate that wins at a 2% rate on its own, by the way. Our baseline settings was the highest win rate I could do without, quote unquote, informing the player pool. Even slightly informed player pools really didn't win it all that much more. Although I did find that if I just ran my player pool, slightly increased win rates at quarterback and defense. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. Thank you, Tebow Time. I appreciate you, my man. Really do. Put a review on Google or one of those. Here we go. Would you trade Jamar for JT and AJ Brown? Full PPR league. I have Genty and love my running backs. I also have Malik, Flowers, and Adams. Malik, Flowers, and Adams. I would trade Jamar Chase for JT and AJ Brown. Yes. Yes, I would do that trade. As much as I think Jamar Chase is the best player in that, to get 2 for 1 at the beginning of a season is too good to pass up. I would definitely do that trade. 10-team half PPR. Should I keep May or Pickens? The correct answer made by Tico is Pickens. Keep Pickens for the 7th. Drake May, you're going to get him anyway in round 5 or 6. Who cares? You don't need a quarterback. Oh, wait, Superflex? Wait a second. Hold on. I didn't see the SF at the end. Let me rethink that. Superflex. No, I would keep Drake May. SF. Yeah. No, I saw the SF at the end there. No. You're right. Keep Drake May. I'll keep Drake in the Superflex. Yeah. At first, though, I was like, yeah, baby, give me I'll fucking keep me some Pickens. Yeah, no, I think it's Drake May all day, man. I don't even think you should be conflicted there. Let's see what we got here. I have 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. We need more wide receivers here. Let's just add in WR1 for the Miami Dolphins, Malik Washington. Where's Washington, the running back? He should be long gone, right? Yeah. Here we go. I love it. And redraft questions. 10-team ESPN. 1 tight end, 1 flex. Keep Walker and lose the 5th. Rice in 7th, or Loveland in the 13th. Ooh, Walker's a first-round pick. I mean, obviously, I love Walker and I love Rice for the 7th. I think Loveland in the 13th is all. I mean, these are really, really good options. Rice in the 7th or Loveland in the 13th. Every single one of those is a win to keep. Hang on. Let me make my pick here. We need another tight end. Let's go. Let's just load up on tight end since everybody's grabbing them. You think Walker? Yeah, I'm leaning Walker here on this one. But, like, I mean, there's a good argument for Rice and Loveland. Just like a free pick for Loveland, who's a fourth rounder. Or do you give up a fifth for Walker, who's really a first rounder, or Rice a seventh for a second rounder? I mean, this is brutal. I love them all. I don't think you can make a bad decision here. I probably might end up with Walker too, just because I really love Kenny Walker this year. But I don't mind any of them. I think they're all good. I love all those players too. I like Colson Loveland. I love it for a 13th rounder. Sure. I love Rashee Rice for a 7th round. I mean, I just think it's so good. Keep them all. What kind of rules you got going? What the fuck? What? Ray Davis. Oh, are we that deep in this draft? I lost my oh yeah, here we go. We're going to backup running backs already. Okay. Yeah. How effective will the new cracking the code be in making DFS lineups for small or large field? I will certainly go over it, and I think it's most specifically beneficial for small field tournaments that you handcraft. I think the biggest edge to the cracking the code is not even in is not necessarily in optimization for attempting to win milli makers. That's really not what we discovered. As it turns out, and winning a milli maker almost means going against some of the rules. But as far as cracking the code goes, and the Showdown Codex, both of those are even better for handcrafts or the lineups that we're building. And you will see I've already built, even in the first look, I was like, all right, let's take our lessons from cracking the code, which type of players to target, which ones to avoid. Handcrafting is going to be where it's at off of those books. Make sure to read it. How long have I been playing fantasy? Bro, I've been playing fantasy. I'll tell you, my first season of fantasy was 2003. 2003. Could be before some people here were born. I've been playing fantasy. I was obsessed with it. I was hooked. The first time I played, as soon as Yahoo basically built out an automated fantasy football platform on the interweb at the time, that's when I started playing, because I loved my reason for getting into fantasy. I love this story. My whole reason for getting into fantasy football, I'm a Jets fan. I am a Jets fan. And let me tell you something. It sucks to be a Jets fan, because you're a fan of a team that always stinks. I also love football. So I'm a combination of a Jets fan who loves football, but could never really watch with a rooting interest, because the Jets would turn into duty like 5 seconds into the season every year. And so it would ruin my one happiness in life, which was getting excited to watch football on Sundays. Fantasy football was the gift that allowed me to keep watching football on Sundays with a rooting interest when the Jets were so terrible that it was just worthless. Browns fan knows what's up, right? If you love football and you're a fan of a team that's literal dog shit, what the fuck are you supposed to do? After week 3, my season was over. Now what am I doing on Sunday? Hanging with the wife and kids? Are you guys crazy? So then I discovered fantasy football, and I'm like, oh my God, this gives me a rooting interest in, even after the Jets have proven to be garbage, right? So even after the Jets are finished, I could watch with a rooting interest. So that was the start of my enjoyment of fantasy football. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Now I added in a second component, and this is my personality. So fantasy football, I discovered, love and this is how I discovered FanDuel too. My second thing that I love doing is I like beating games. I like I don't like participating in quote games. I like beating. I like winning, right? I love the feeling of winning. I loved beating my friends and the bragging rights that came with it from fantasy football, and just the personal satisfaction. But also, I'm just personally obsessed, and always have been, with like whenever there's a game or contest, I try to figure out the strategy to give me an edge and allow me to beat it compared to others. Even when I played cards, like even rummy, whatever it was as a kid, I was always into that. It's one of the reasons why I really like fantasy football and certain types of gambling, but I don't like go sit at a slot machine. And I find that mind-numbingly boring. I like poker. There's a strategy to it. But when it comes to like sitting down at some 50-50 odds or 49-51 odds. Like, I won't sit at a slot machine ever. I don't enjoy it. There's no strategy to it. And for me, that there's no joy. I like the joy of figuring out a system that can beat others. I like putting in more work than the next person. I feel that I'm willing to do it because I'm a psycho. That's one of the reasons why I call myself a geek. Part of my moniker geek wasn't because I'm a nerd. I don't think I'm a nerdy person. I think a pretty badass person, if you ask me. But I do dive deep into beating. So I become obsessed with a thing. I became obsessed with history. I know all kinds of shit because when I get obsessed with a topic, I dive in super deep. I can't help myself. I'm up till 2 a.m. researching, diving in, and I used the power of my psychotic geeking out this offseason to like put 18-hour days in on the freaking learning AI. I don't know how to use AI. Yeah, we all think we're pretty badass, Tivo. I don't know if anybody else thinks it, but I like that you think it about yourself, and I feel the same way about me. Yeah, not saying anybody else should or would feel that way about me, but like, I like me. So that's what the story was. Fantasy football for me was a combination of like, oh my God, I can be into fantasy football. It gives me a reason to watch, which is exciting. Gave me a rooting interest in football, which I liked, but also it was a game I could win. It was a game I could win. It was a game I could strategize for and win. Like, I figured out strategies in fantasy football years before they were mainstream. And I'll give you an example. Peter Porker. Love the name. I remember you from last year, Peter Porker. You are a memorable avatar and name here on the channel, but go to actual DFS Army if you really want to get in there. I tried to, I asked Brady, my producer here, to see if he could set up a situation where channel members could access the draft kit, like the YouTube subscribers. We have a YouTube subscription. You get some benefits for a YouTube subscription here. I think the higher level gets access to my Players Club show, which is a VIP only show that we do on Saturdays, building lineups together and kind of going through everything. It was awesome last year. We crushed it in the Players Club. For those who participated, usually about 1,000 people, DFS Army subscribers, watch that show with me every single week. So yeah, that's sort of the origin story for me getting into fantasy football. Extended out now to 2011. In 2011, I'm just randomly on the interwebs, and I somehow discover FanDuel. It had just been launched. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was a year where I only had one league. And like in those days, you had to, in order to have leagues, you pretty much had to gather groups of friends together or get in a league that was already existing. It was super new, fantasy football, even then. Like, unless you were like hardcore, you weren't even really playing, or you had one league with your friends. So I was like, oh, I'd love to do more leagues. And I found FanDuel, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I just assumed that any gambling online at that time in 2011, again, the internet wasn't what it is today. It seemed like a place of sketchiness, of lies, and all of that. So back then, I was like, this is probably a scam. Like, I really thought that, I genuinely thought that FanDuel was probably some online scam. But then I played it for a whole season. 2011 was before I got into my blog. I'll tell you, I launched the blog after that. But I played it for a full season. I was kicking ass. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking easy. I figured out that, like, I started looking at the game totals and using that to help guide my decisions. Oh, close game, high spread. Let's take players from that game, which was not common, and no one was doing that in 2011. But the big thing was, I think I put $100 in my FanDuel account, and I ended the season with $600. And I was like, holy crap, that was great. That was so fun. I played every week. I made a bunch of lineups. And that's how I got hooked to DFS. And the next year is when I launched my blog. And the main reason I launched the blog was because I was telling friends about FanDuel, and I was like, you guys got to try this. This is really cool. And so I was telling friends about it, and they were like, hey, what do you think? Well, like, who am I playing this week? And so I started just writing the article for my friends who were playing because they were asking me. And that's kind of how it all got started. And then people started reading the article. And I was like, what the fuck? How am I getting 50,000 views on this article? Like, is no one else doing content for this? No one else was doing content for it. So all of a sudden, my blog, which was a blog spot, I didn't even know any technology, was getting all these views, and I was getting all these signups. I was getting referrals because I had a link over to FanDuel and DraftKings. Yeah, the box scores USA Today. I started after that because I didn't want, I never did handcrafted lineups. I never did the manual. Guys, we completed our draft. Survivor, I'd love to do another one, but we'd probably have to wait 30 minutes. So what I want to do right now, for any of you guys who are in the chat who have a Drafters account, I want to give somebody a free ticket to enter the Best Ball Championship main event here. So what I want to do is drop your Drafters name in the chat right now. I'm going to grab a bunch of that. Yeah. I'm going to grab a bunch of those. So if you have a Drafters account, drop your name in the chat right now. I'm going to do a randomizer, and we'll pick a person to give a $15 ticket to. There's Mad Dog. Let's get the randomizer going. All right, just give me this. The wheel of names, random name picker. Oh, this one's even more fun. All right, everybody who's in there, hang on. Wait, Peter Porker. Why are you giving me two names, bro? What the hell? Come on, Peter Porker. I need one name. Mad Dogs. Tebow Time is one. All right. Who else? JMJR. Respect my Ravens. Mighty CW. Only put it in once, guys. Wait, Peter Porker. Oh, that's a different person. Oh, Peter Sheridan. Mad Dogs. Oh, yeah, you're right. Mad Dog 66. Let me make sure I don't miss anyone. There's Ray Zanny. What's up, brother? Just in time, our next one will be Underdog, but we just did a beautiful Drafters draft. I wish you were here for that, Ray Zanny. Drafters, interesting format. All right, I think we got 5 names. Tebow Time, JMJR, Respect My Ravens, Mighty CW, and Mad Dog. Let's do a spin. Click to spin. You guys ready? No new names coming up. All right, here we go. Click to spin. We're spinning. This is fun. Who gets the ticket? Who gets the ticket? Mad Dog 66. Not Peter Porker. It's the other Peter. We got a winner. All right, brother. Mad Dog Peter Sheridan. Get a free ticket. $25 or $15 main event ticket in your account no later than tomorrow. Boom. Classic Zanny started drafting. Let's do what are we doing for the next one, guys? DraftKings, Underdog, or another one on Drafters? Vote real quick. But good stuff. Congratulations to Mad Dog. Who was it? Mad Dogs 66. You got it. All right, we'll do a DraftKings one. Yeah, got a couple of votes for DraftKings. It's my DraftKings people. I get it. Plus, fuck Underdog. They go in corporate too. Underdog, another corporate. Ray Zanny says DraftKings. All right, well, that absolutely settles it. Let's go. Any free shit on DraftKings? Hold on. Let's check our account. Let's go to promotions. Where's the promotions tab? Rewards. Let's check it. Got anything going? Anything we can click? Best ball. Draft now. Yeah, I'm not filling that one out. Let's see. Soccer's back. Don't care. Win boost tokens. Don't care. Mission of the day. I'll do that. What else? Hell no. Real job, bro? Mo Fly, you're too slow. Do it for the next one. Do it for the next one. We'll do another one tomorrow. All right. I don't see any special giveaways this week, which is weird. I feel like they should be really pushing it right now. So let's go to NFL. I'll do another $3 one since I still have some availability. I haven't made a ton of lineups here on DraftKings. All right, we're in the play action for those who can. If you want to draft along, just want to watch, that's cool too. Fuck your real job, man. Come on. Priorities. Oh, is DraftKings going to give me trouble? Every once in a while, DraftKings does give me this trouble, especially if I'm streaming. Oh, and I got to make my pick. Let's see here. All right. While we wait for DraftKings to get it figured out. All right, here we go. I'm going to enter it. So we are in the play action. $3. Yep, we're in. All right, while we wait, let's jump over and make my pick. So this is a super flex best ball. Plenty of quarterbacks. Don't have any running backs yet, so I need to get one. I'm going to go for Jadarian. Boom. Yeah, that's classic Genty. It's classic Ray Zanny. Good call. We are pick number 1. I'm on the clock. Oh, I love pick number 1. All right, guys, here we go. DraftKings action. The perfect draft from the 1 spot. Let's see if we could pull it off. Who else is in here? LOL, I win. Heisenberg's in there. Orange Peel's in there. Zanny, you get in here, brother? Lol win. Ray Zanny. Ray is in here as well. We got Zanny in here. We've got a bunch of you guys in here with us. Ray, Orange Peel. Heisenberg. That's the names I recognize. Orange Peel, Heisenberg, Zanny. So 4 of us in the room drafting. Remember that tonight, 8 o'clock, we're doing backtest season. Night 1, we're going to look at showdowns tonight. So it's going to start with showdowns. We're just going to get our fucking showdown muscles ready to go. It actually takes a lot of clicking to do showdowns. There's a lot of setup. I'm automating some of that in the back end, so to speak. I don't know how to say it, but I've automated some of it. But generally, showdowns are going to be a lot of clicks. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes just to set up a showdown. Here we go. We're on the clock, I think. Starts in 16 seconds. I am ready for my Jameer. I probably should have updated my rankings recently, but draft starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I love this. Dude, this is right. Are you following? Please tell me, DFS Malware. Please tell me that you're following the approach main slate settings that I've put together here. I've done 6 million lineups back tested, maybe more. And I came up with the best settings. I've tried everything, or at least I've tried as much as I can. By the way, if you read the main slate settings book and it talks about the journey I went through in back testing as well. If you're like, dude, here's a thing that I do that you didn't do in back testing. Oh, okay. I love it. Stalker level. Let's go. But I'm very open. I want to shout out, actually. I want to shout out my guy, DFS Army subscriber, BCleg22. Okay. I want to shout him out because when I was doing the showdown back testing, yeah, baby, and the urine, double down. Loves it. When I was doing back testing, so I just want to credit BCleg. And we'll talk about it tonight. But when I was doing my back testing for showdowns, he had an idea about forced mins that I wasn't doing in that I wasn't doing. And he's like, why don't you try this? And when I added it in, the win rates exploded. So I was testing all different stuff, but it actually took one of you guys, a subscriber that I've been chatting with in the background, DMing with a little bit through the back test mode. Oh, there he is. What's up, Brandon Clegg? In the chat. Didn't even know it. You're not going to suck ass for sure. But yeah, credit to Brendan. Gave me the idea to add in a factor of forcing some ins, and that massively changed the win rates. It gave us a significant boost. So yeah, credit to that. And I need the same kind of ideas on main slates. I'm winning at a pretty good rate at about a 2% win rate, which is as good as quote unquote the pros that we studied. But still, I'd love to get it a little bit higher than that. 2% win rate in like milli makers. Okay. So it's just like basically by my approach, 2 to 3 seasons of attacking the milli maker should produce 1 win at least. But that's a long time and a lot of variance to wait. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money losing. Yeah, Brendan Clegg, man, absolutely gave me an idea that did and that's, by the way, that's nothing new here in DFS Army. We've always been about working together, a lot of respect for our subscribers, our people who come in here. Again, for players, by players, doesn't mean it's the Kevin show. I really don't mean that at all. It's the us show. We're a team, and we spend the dues that everybody puts in to hire staff and to have really cool tools. That's it. That's what we're doing. Yeah, I think Genty is a really perfect. It's a great pick. Later, like when you get him here, great. I'll take the fall on Ashton. So far, this is going pretty chalk outside of where's Chasbro? Oh, whoa, Orange Peel. Chase Brown in round 2. That is aggressive. Orange Peel, aggressive. I think Josh Allen in round 2 is not just aggressive, it's stupid. But, maybe I'm wrong. I think pairing up Josh Allen with James Cook in this contest is probably not what you should do. So Zakura, not in love with it. Yeah, it's a game changer. And Peter Porker, when you see my system, you're going to play them. You're going to want to play them. And the system that I've put together for showdowns is great if you're just handcrafting one too. It works for everything. All right, let me get my players ready here. Olave. Oh, I'll take it. Kyron. No. Tight end. No. Pickens, Collins, Rice, Smith. I'm going Pickens here. Nico Collins should be a good pick, except the dude's always hurt, bro. I'm so nervous about him always getting hurt. I think Olave is kind of a gets hurt a lot guy too. So, not that much safer. Yeah, Forceman's game changer, Brandon Clegg in the house. What's up, my brother? Absolutely helped. And I'm kind of looking for that little, I would love to find that little, maybe I'll try specifically that on main slates. I haven't tried it. Yeah. Peter Porker, it's better for handcrafting than anything else. Because the system that I've created for showdowns, the Codex, informs your captain decision. It looks at similar games over the years with those spreads, with those totals, who wins as captain here. Like we discovered in a certain game type, 50% of the time, it's wide receivers that are captains. Now, if I'm just doing a 20 lineup run, I'm just going to focus on 1 or 2 wide receivers and accept that if that's wrong, okay, I'll get it next time. It will push us to the correct captains. It's not going to always work, but when it does hit, it gives you a chance to take one down, which is why you get that 20% rate. Listen, Nico, Rezani, up until he gets hurt. You can die on whatever sword you want. If he stays healthy, it'll be great. But I feel like that dude gets banged up a lot, and it's annoying. But yeah, Nico right now looks really good with all the other wide receivers not really relevant. Never captain a defense or a kicker. That's part of it. A lot of people captain defenses and kickers chasing the 3% of the time that wins, which is great. But also don't double up captains. Almost never double up a defense or a kicker. I've eliminated. I think one of the biggest advantages I added was eliminating 2 kickers and 2 defenses most of the time. There are some occasions where it does work. There's no way I'm playing Bryce Young at all in DFS. But listen, in week 1, in a Millie Maker, ownership is the most is the nastiest thing. Is Schultz a steal? He could be. With all those injuries at wide receiver, Tank Dell. Unfortunately, I'm not hearing the best words out of Tank Dell. Let me mea culpa. It's not mea culpa time. Obviously, I've been very high on Tank Dell. Higgins gets hurt. I'm like, oh shit, it is time, right? I'm thinking it's go time with Tank Dell, and I still think Tank Dell's going to have a good season, but I'm just not in love with. I have not heard anything positive really about Tank Dell out of training camp at all. So in terms of actual on-field performance, I do have concerns about Dell. He is recovering he's 2 years removed from an injury. I think he should be fine. I think he should be stud level, but I'm not a doctor. What the fuck do I know? The Jets are very bad. I was thinking about playing Titans defense. It's pretty cheap on FanDuel. Could play Cam Ward. Could also play the Jets because the Titans also suck. Titans suck too. Let's not forget who the worst team is probably. What the fuck? I don't know. I never broke a leg and recovered from it. I don't know. Not a doctor. I don't know. The fuck would I know? But what I do know is if Tank Dell can play, should be pretty good. All right, reminder, this is a DraftKings play action, which means we need to kind of have some correlation built. We're going to have a playoff week thing. You got to put up a monster score. I mean, I feel like Saleh being the coach is like worse for them because he stinks as a coach. Robert Saleh. Who's taking Josh Jacobs there? I didn't get it. DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery. Double tap, running back. I was going to take Jacobs. Was excited about Jacobs. $4.90 was pretty good. No, where are they? I guess they're all right. Fuck Salah. But like I said, do I think week 1, in looking at week 1, the standouts to me were I like Shook, I like Goff, but I mean, obviously Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts stands out to me in week 1 as a possibility as well. So like Jalen Hurts, maybe Danny Jones, maybe Daniel Dimes if they can't run it. FanDuel is definitely not doing season-long drafts for NFL at all. We have this format here on DraftKings. And again, I recommend Drafters. Tony Boyer, if you go to Drafters, they have a really nice survival contest in their main event, both of which I prefer the format compared to anything that's going on, certainly on DraftKings. FanDuel doesn't have it anymore. But go to Drafters, promo code DFSARMY will match $100 deposit. So you do $100, they'll give you $200 to play with in these contests. So for $100, you can do either 15 or 16 of these best ball championships, or probably 20 or 22 of these survival contests. And this is what I recommend. And start doing them right away. Start doing them right away. Do not wait. There's no more time left. Time's a wasting. It's redraft season. So if you're redrafting, don't forget that I've also put out my draft kit. These are my rankings specific to whatever format you use: Sleeper, ESPN, Yahoo, other consensus. These are my rankings. And if you're drafting against your home league, this is what I'm using for my leagues. This is what I use for me. And I recommend you use it for you. Now you might be like, fuck you, I do my own shit. And that's cool too. But if you wanted to at least have a reference of my rankings, they're available in the DFS Army Discord. And like I said, I was going to make it available to channel subscribers. So if you're on the YouTube channel, you're not a DFS Army subscriber, but you subscribe here on the YouTube channel as a member, which I appreciate you guys as well. Get to participate in our players clubs on Saturdays, a couple extra things, but I'm also asking Brady to figure out how to give out my draft kit for channel subscribers. Murray, Shook, Dart, Baker, and Brissett is who I like for week 1. I don't know about Brissett. On the road there, tough matchup. You want to do a high roller draft? Michael Dubner, as much as I would love to, I don't think that's not going to fill. Like, I can't do that in stream. That's just not going to fill. It probably would take forever. Yeah. Fast draft is 2 of 12. Like, we'd be waiting here for hours for this thing to fill. I do like this concept, though. It's total points. Is there a weekly? Oh, by the way, in this best ball main event thing, one of the cool things I like, check this out. Yeah, deposit code for drafters is DFS Army. So it's code DFS Army. That gets you the match. I don't know about deposit, but for new accounts, try it for a deposit. Might work too. A cop that wants to be a dickhead. I love it. I love that. That's hilarious. Like, yeah, like a cop with like a little too much bravado. Why are all the cops that want to be dickheads bald? Why are their heads shaved? I love the police. Unless they're being assholes, and then I hate them. Very much a judge individually kind of person as far as that goes. Ray Zanny, I was in Rhode Island a couple weeks ago on for a couple of nights on vacation. Your hometown. I was hoping to see Paulie D. Did not see him. Did not see him. He wasn't there. Went out to some nice restaurants. Olave, Pickens. I'm looking at Dak. I'm looking at yeah, Paulie, you don't come back to the hood. That's not respect. That's not respect at all. Paulie D got to come back to the hood. Stafford, Tyler Shook. I'm just starting to tab star off, connected players here to give myself like kind of reminders of players that I want to target. I've got 2 running backs so far. I don't have a quarterback. We're kind of through the quote unquote good quarterback zone here. The good wide receiver zone. Get Michael Wilson. Oh, Jonathan Brooks is gone. Gonna grab Dak. Get that combinacion going. I'm feeling hungry, boys. Oof, I'm gonna eat good after this draft. I need a snack. Snack. Mega Omega. Forgot to eat this morning. Only had 1 cup of coffee. Little health food. Matty Franco's from Rhode Island? Nice. Let me finish eating. I want to speak with a mouthful of nuts. I just literally opened up the door for the easiest joke ever. Brooks is who I was targeting. Did not make it. Yeah, got to chew. Give me a second. Look how pale I am. Look how pale. Whoa! Ray Zanny. Introducing Richie Onions. How you doing? I feel like Richie Onions. How you doing? Forget about it. Richie Onions. You got to go to Ray Zanny's house for the dart tournament Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, throwing dart. There's kegs, there's dart, there's pizza, there's gambling. Raisani, Richie Onions, the introduction has been made. Richie Onions, how you doing? Introductions. Let's see what's going on with this draft. I've got 3 wide receiver, 3 running back, 1 quarterback. I've got Dak paired up with George Pickens. We got a Tyler Shook set up with Olave. And yeah, my wide receiver group, not as sexy as you'd like, considering Olave and Pickens with the first 2 picks. Probably could have maybe taken another one here instead of like Montgomery, and then maybe filled out the running backs a little bit later. How much weight do you put on news coming out of training camp? Yeah, I think you should put a lot of weight on the news coming out of training camp, Roy Schwartz. So here's what happens. We formulate opinions. We formulate opinions in the preseason based on things that we're hoping will happen or that we think might happen. In training camp, we start to see, and not so much training camp, but in the actual preseason games, but a little bit of training camp, we start to see those things go from theory to reality. And if our theory doesn't become reality, we need to be quick to adjust. We got to be comfortable saying, you know what? No bueno. It didn't go the way I thought. Shook is going to be 123. Okay. We're going to wait. You know, if it doesn't go our way, we've got to be ready to pivot. Say, you know what? I kind of thought this thing would happen, but then it didn't happen. So at that point, maybe I should not do that. Maybe I should do something different. I'm taking George Kittle. George Kittle's supposed to be back for week 1 at this point. Oh, we got another pick. Stafford. I mean, I could take Stafford here, but I don't have anybody connected to him. I think I need another wide receiver. I'm going Debo. That's my back, punk. Richie Onions, how you doing? Forget about it. Is the hype on Brooks too much at this point? Like, Chuba Hubbard has now flipped and is like basically worthless. Has it gone too far? I feel like it maybe has gone too far. By the way, all of Rhode Island is like right around the corner. It's a small place. A little teeny place. My trip to Boston and Rhode Island was all about Revolutionary War history. And then I went down like a rabbit hole of learning. I've already been like a Revolutionary War buff of sorts. I love history. And learning histories, I think that's where knowledge and wisdom comes from. So that's why I like to learn history. And I dived into all the Revolutionary War background stuff. Just like each guy individually, what their deal was, where they came from, like the Adams brothers. John Adams, what was his deal? George Washington, where did he come from? You know, all the other guys that you heard of. John Jay. Not a lot of people remember John Jay. Important person. So I'm doing a lot of that, kind of diving in to Revolutionary War, all inspired by my, America 250th anniversary or birthday, and of course my trip to the Freedom Trail and Boston and all that shit. I love all of it. Really, truly an amazing story. Kenny Gainwell goes. Bo Nix. Alec Pierce, orange peel, not worried about the injury. Maybe that's the right move. One good thing about Rhode Island, guys, you got a good cooking school up there. So maybe some of the restaurants got some good chefs. There's a big culinary school. Side note about culinary school, I feel like restaurant work, chef work is a labor of love, but tough to make money. Very hard way to make a living, cooking food. You better damn well love cooking food. Oh, he's Richie Onions in Central Florida, but missed the food. That's the problem in Central Florida. Now, if you were in southeastern Florida, the food is unbelievable. From Miami all the way up through probably West Palm, really good food. Further south, the better. Like restaurants are spectacular in Fort Lauderdale, all the way down to Miami. But then you go to Central Florida, like Orlando, not that good. Like actually genuinely bad food, like garbage. I don't understand it. Got to bring some like New York people there, open up a pizzeria or a bagel store. It's like normal food. Get a deli going, like a good deli. Jimmy John's, not Jimmy John's. I'm talking about a real deli. Well, not Jimmy John's. I've got one quarterback, 4 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 3 running backs only. So pretty good idea of where we need to be. Hina Crookson got Shook waiting for me in the wings. I want to star off his tight end here. We could also take a look at Devon Valley really late. Running backs. Wow. Chuba still there? That's a little weird. Rashad White, very nice for this format. Tyrone Tracy is good. Keaton Mitchell, still plenty of good running backs. I'll take Sharps late. Even Woody Marks at this point is an acceptable play. I'm going to start off some of those names. Wide receiver group. Let me sort by ADP here. See Jordan Tyson finally dropping down. Can't drop far enough. There's almost no place I would take Tyson being out for like a month and a half. That's no bueno. Worthy, not looking too great. I do like Coker. I do like Shakir in this format. Some of these other names, of course, Washington. Trey Tucker, I like. Keep an eye on these guys. We're going to start with our QB2, Tyler Shook. Let's see here. I got Jameer, Swift, Olave, Pickens, Wilson, and Debo. So I could actually get a Brock Purdy here, and it wouldn't be a criminal event, especially if Stribling is still available. I doubt he is. Yeah, he's gone. Stribling's gone. So let's nail down Tyler Shook. We're at pick 121, so we have time for some of these other names. We'll get a second running back in here. I'm going to do Rashad White, but I guess I'll do Rashad. 121. How many wide receivers? Really could use another wide receiver. Let's go Coker instead. No, wait, fuck it. Get our running back in there. I don't know. I'm not sure if that was the right call. Rhode Island, best food in the country. Rhode Island has pretty good food. I'm not going to say the best food, but pretty good. Actually, yeah, pretty good. Not the best. Although, pizza in that part of the country. Now, I'm not sure if it extends to Rhode Island all the way in or to Boston. Probably not. But in Connecticut, on the drive to or home from Rhode Island, I stopped in Connecticut for some pizza. And when I tell you it was damn good pizza, like better pizza than what we have here in New York. I'm from Brooklyn. And I will say that that pizza in Connecticut, like I just stopped at Mystic Village, which is just this like little place, but there's a pizzeria called Mango's or some shit. Stupid name. Mango's Pizza. And it was great. I was like, this is fucking good pizza. And it's just some random pizza place in like Mystic, not even New Haven, outside of New Haven. Connecticut has the best pizza. Every shop is better than the next. And I think New York has really good pizza, but it's kind of like the UK, London fish and chips of pizza. There's just so much of it, and most of it's not that good. It's just like acceptable in New York. Still better than like most places which only have most places only the only pizza they have is like Domino's. So that's why New York beats those kind of spots. No, the Mystic Pizza, I know about the movie, Ray, and that's not the place I went. Mystic Pizza itself, that pizzeria is dog shit. This one was called Mangoes, and it was in Mystic Village. You should go to Mystic Village. It's a cool spot. For DFS, should you try taking the home instead of the away QB? Yes. All of the lessons from the Cracking the DFS Code book. It's not so much home. You want, in your perfect world, you want a home-favored quarterback as much as possible. Even away favorites give you trouble. As a matter of fact, if you just focused on home quarterbacks that weren't that big of an underdog, you're doing better. So if they're an underdog, I want that to be within 3 points. As you go beyond a 3-point dog, the quarterback performance tends to decline, right? So a big underdog is not what we're looking for with our quarterback choice. We want a close game. Ricky Pearsall out for the season. Ethan Ford doesn't care. This guy just nailed 2 guys who are out for the season. Thank you, Ethan Ford 2, for not knowing ball. Yeah. So Ray, I'm gonna recommend this because it's close to where you live. Don't go to Mystic Pizza. It's just a pizzeria and it's not a good one. You go to Mystic Village in the city of Mystic or in the town of Mystic. And there's a pizzeria called Mangoes. But the whole of Mystic Village is a cool spot. It is a very cool spot and totally worth going to. There was like a stores that selling swords and all kinds of crazy shit. Really was a cool spot. And that pizza place was excellent. I don't think it's like worth traveling to pizza place. Yeah, Mystic Pizza is in Connecticut. It's in that town, but don't go to Mystic Pizza, that restaurant. That's just a gimmick spot. I'm saying this is in Mystic Village. It's like this old little village, the shopping area that they put together over there. Mystic Village. I need my tight end. Where's Juwan Johnson? What happened? Oh, you fuckers. Took Juwan. Not cool. Not cool. Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you keep on going, if you can get the Newport, Modern, Sally's, Frank Pepe's. I've been to a couple of them. I do like them. Weirdly, I don't actually definitively say it was my favorite pizza I've ever had in my life. I need a tight end. No choice. I don't have a tight end here that really overlaps with any quarterback I have, so I'm just going to go with Chig. I don't like Jason Ferguson this season. He did not do well in games where where George Pickens was playing, so I avoid Fergie as much as possible. I'm just not buying it. I like Ferguson in general over the years, but here we go. Jacoby Brissett, Sam Steve just doesn't give a shit. My guy is just spraying picks all over the place. Worst draft so far is Ethan Ford, who is just eating up all of the injured players. Kyler Murray ahead of Matt Stafford is just criminally stupid. Pearsall and Jordan Tyson won't play this year. Cortland Sutton here at, right? I guess these picks were so late in the draft, it doesn't matter. I guess. I don't know. Justin Jefferson, who's my round 1 fade. I guess he did take Kyler Murray. So this is a person who is thinking, but I don't understand how you're thinking and you take Tyson and Ricky Pearsall. It makes no sense. Yeah. New York was more like reputation. New York does have good pizza. The problem is there are very specific spots. I would say like the best pizza even in New York. Yes, I would say there are places that are better than those Connecticut spots, but they're few and far between. You got to make a special trip. You got to know where you're going. If you just go into the thing about New York that's different from most places, I'd add New Jersey and Connecticut, tri-state area in that conversation is like, if you just walk into an average pizzeria, the pizza's going to be pretty good. It's not going to be like Frank Pepe's. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Katamari, thoughts on Achane, Neighbors, and Josh Jacobs? Okay, give 3 thoughts here. Achane. My thoughts on Achane are that his team is going to be bad. They're going to use him a ton. He's probably not going to score a ton because his team is shit and their offense is not good. And he's at a high risk of getting hurt. So I've mostly been fading Achane, although if he drops very late into round 2, I started fading him late round 1 as the offseason began for those reasons. But again, in fairness, he's now dropped all the way to where sometimes you can get him at the end of round 2. I think it's an acceptable pick. Malik Neighbors, I love Malik Neighbors. I think he's one of he's better. For example, he should be going where CeeDee Lamb goes if he was fully healthy, and everything is pointing to him being healthy. So I'm a big fan of Malik Neighbors this year, but I acknowledge that, and I love him with Dart. So Dart, Neighbors, the combinacion, great. But obviously, there's a little bit of I hope he doesn't get hurt again risk. If he doesn't get hurt again, I think he's absolutely going to tear shit up. Okay. And finally, Josh Jacobs. I'm in on Josh Jacobs. I don't know what the hullabaloo is about. I'm in on Josh Jacobs. I don't care that he went to jail. Like it. I actually prefer it. I like my NFL players a little tough. Jail, toughen them up a little bit. I like it. Working out in the jail, in the yard. He was in the yard. Lifting weights, training. I'm for it. Absolutely. So I like Josh Jacobs. I keep drafting Josh Jacobs. I don't give a fuck. I have a ton of Josh Jacobs. Yeah, he's got a cute. Oh, Donnie Mitchell. All right, there's one of my favorite late picks. Sam Steve gets one right. Nice to see. Nice to see, Sam Steve. Drew Samson, acceptable pick. Kamara, acceptable pick, although he's hurt to start things off. Let's, oh yeah, I like me some Washington and Cyrus Allen. If I get both these guys, I'll be happy. Tight end here, we've got 2. I got another one, but I definitely need to beef up my wide receivers. Quarterbacks are all basically gone. Somebody took, I might have to take a, am I on the clock? Yeah. All right, let's get, what pick are we? 170? I'm going to go Washington and Cyrus Allen. Let's go. Double tap. Now, I still need another quarterback, but I have some ideas for later. Yeah. I mean, I like Marshawn Lloyd, too, as a backup. Like, why not? Take a shot late. But, yeah, I am definitely on team Josh Jacobs this year. I don't see why this year is going to be any different from last year or the year before. He's been a pretty good player, not the best player, but a pretty good player in the NFL for a while. And, he's got the backfield to himself. Let's see what Ray Zanny's up to in this draft. Let's take a look. Let's do a little evaluation of everybody's draft so far. Ray Zanny started with Jackson Smith and Jigba. We got Derrick Henry round 2. Okay. Then we triple tap sexy wide receivers. Ooh, give me the tingles. 1, 2, 3, 4 studs. Trevion Henderson. Okay, whatevs. Merritt and Chuba. Got the value on Chuba. I was going to take him if he dropped. Gotta love taking that value. People were taking Chuba with like pick 60. Yeah, Drew Samson. Give me some, But Judkins is also good. But Judkins a high risk injury risk. Why not? Right? Ray Zanny. We got Hurts and Trevor Lawrence to pair up with Smith and Parker Washington. Wonderful. Got Darnold paired up with JSN. Beautiful. Really nice. Let's see if we get any. Yeah, Wicks. So building a little more correlation here with Shaheed and Darnold, Shaheed and JSN. We got Dontavian Wicks with Smith and Jalen Hurts. I mean, bro, that's a professional drafter right there. Ray Zanny 3113. Ray, we got to get you leading some DFS Army best ball streams. You want to take the lead? Want to do some streaming as the host? So you think you can tout? SYTYKT. Think you can? Get Ray Zanny on here. Beautiful draft. Beautiful draft. Omar Cooper, Jets, just the auto drafter, taking all the garbage that no one wants. Caleb Douglas going rounds before I would expect him to. Rounds. Ethanol Ford is not auto drafting. He's just bad drafting. Guys, I just want to show you. Tyson, Pearsall, Jaden Higgins. This guy's now taken 2 players that are out for the season and one that's out for the first 2 months. And he's not auto drafting. This is a person who's clicking those buttons right now. At least I think he's clicking them. Should be watching the stream, bro. You need to know who's out for the season. Or is he auto drafting? Gadsden, another one. Gadsden, one of the worst picks this year. Not going to get off the field. That has not been on the field much. No. Omar Cooper, bro. No. Stop it. Stop it. That is some college carryover. He's on the Jets. He's on the Jets. He's already been passed by fucking scrubs. He's a bust. He's a bust. Look at my sign over there. Do I tell you the Jets? No good. Jets suck. Jets are a place where players go to get ruined. You come with talent, you leave with PTSD, ruined. You don't want players from the Jets, never. Even Garrett Wilson, like he's so good at football, and yet somehow being on the Jets makes him suck. There's Pat Bryant. So all our late round kind of guys that we like here. Let's take a look at their late round targets. Yeah, I mean, could look at Devon Vele. I think I'm going to try to grab him as I have Tyler Shook. And then we get, most of them are pretty shit from here. I don't like any of these guys. Oh, why? Why would you do it? Was that Ray Zanny? Really? No. Oh, no, it was Akura. At least it wasn't you, Ray. I'd been like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, most of the talent is gone. At wide receiver, most of anybody who I'd be interested in is pretty well gone. Not excited about any of these people. I guess Cooper Kupp is acceptable, but not excited about that. We'll take a look at some of these. Yeah, tight ends are still pretty nice that are available. Still a bunch of nice ones. And running back is still acceptable as well. So I think that's where I'm going with my next picks. Probably grab a running back. We'll grab one of these tight ends. Let's go with Dolchich at tight end. Do I need another? Oh, I need another wide receiver. I need another quarterback. We'll go Geno. Boom. QB3. No correlation there. Just a body to fill in. Zacharias Branch, probably looking like the WR3 at this point with the addition of what they have going on there. So, but yeah. At this point, how do you critique any pick? They're all fine. Let's see. The draft really needs to end in round 18. Them pushing this to 20 rounds is just like almost torture. Those last couple rounds just take a lot of time, lose your interest. Even for the stream, it's like everybody's losing interest. Don't forget, on drafters, guys, I'm going to start doing some slow drafts here. I'm going to do a couple slows. I need to get this app going on my phone. I haven't even downloaded it, but I will get some slows going. I'm almost back on the clock in the DFS Army League. Guys, if you want to join these kind of leagues that we put together, again, if you're in the DFS Army Discord right now and you want to just tag Tattoo Freak. We are doing these $25 member best ball leagues. It's kind of like a redraft team, but you don't have to manage it. It's $25 entry. I'm in them all. So I've told Tattoo I will join and pay for every single one. You could draft against the Geek if you want. And it's just a $25 redraft style league, but done in the best ball format. We're putting them out in the Discord. I know a lot of you guys don't have a league. Like if you don't have a friends league that you're in already or something like that, but you want to get some fantasy football action going, this is the way to do it. You can follow along all season. It's a regular fantasy football league, but it is a best ball format. The reason we do them best ball is because I don't want to deal with, there's no waivers. There's none of that management of your team. Ray, just get in there and just pay. Everybody needs to get in those fucking things and pay right away, Ray Zanny. The best way is everybody in, everybody pay right now, start it. Get 12, start them up. Get 12, start them up. Somebody didn't pay, boot, join the next one. We can get 20 of these going. You got a whole bunch. They're fun. It's a good format because when you're drafting against just 12, your drafting skills will elevate and come through, similar to the Eliminator. That's why I like Eliminators. That's why I like Survivor. They're going to reward knowing ball better than this contest that we're doing right now, which effectively, the way that this contest is designed, the one that we're in right now, the way it's designed specifically to reward people who are good at spreading out their exposures, because the only way you win it is if it's week 15, 16, and especially week 17, you happen to have a lineup in there that happens to, for example, have that one Kyle Pitts, Mike Evans, whoever it is. Last season it was Trevor Lawrence, that random guy that goes off in week 16. You need that guy, or you're not going to win this contest. Whereas the Eliminators in the smaller leagues, yes, the prizes are not even different in the Eliminator, but in the small league, at least you're rewarded for knowing ball and picking a good team. You're going to win it. Pop Douglas, Jalen Wright. That's the difference. That's why I like those kind of leagues. That's why I like the Eliminator more than I personally like BBM or this play action contest. That's why I like that Survivor contest. And I very much like this other contest, the Best Ball Championship on Drafters. I prefer this style. It's going to reward people for knowing ball instead of rewarding you for kind of getting lucky or making a lot of lineups to where you happen to have one in the playoffs that has that one guy who pops. Now, when you have that one guy that pops and you do that, it's the greatest thing in the world, which is why we play them. But I just know my personal skill set, what I'm better at than others. And I'm going to always do better in the Survivor contest or in a contest like this that is a cumulative score, because I'd rather not have to really go suboptimal in so many spots in order to find that one contest that pops. I do like the first quarter contest on Underdog. I think there's a strategy for it. I haven't pulled the data for it, but yes, I do like that contest. You can use a little bit of knowing ball. You can use a little bit of like avoiding people who are starting off the season banged up. We don't want those kind of players in that contest. We want matchups that are positive for 4 weeks, and we can look those up and know what those are. Like I said, I have my playoff matchup guide here for your general. Like I've had this for everybody all season long. Playoff schedules. It shows you who has the best matchups in the playoffs. These are the teams that you want. Like when it comes to the fantasy playoffs, these are the names that you want, and these are the teams that you want to avoid. This is more important, the avoids, right? Think about it. You got the 49ers. Everybody's so excited about taking Christian McCaffrey. One reason I haven't taken a lot of 49ers is because their 3-week playoff schedule is absolutely horrific. Now, a lot of people push back and say, I don't care. Matchups don't mean shit. Fine. You do you. I'm doing me, right? This is the edge that is available to us. Dolphins get the Packers, Chargers, and Bills. No thanks, right? Achan, no thanks. I don't need that. Seahawks, brutal playoff schedule with the Eagles and Rams. That's not a good scene. We want to avoid that. Same thing with the Eagles. They get the Seahawks, Texans, 49ers. This one is one of the biggest red flags of them all. Eagles at the Seahawks and Texans. You're going to be knocked out of the playoffs with your Saquon Barkley shares before you make it to round 3. You're not getting there because you got knocked out in round 1 when they played the Seahawks, or in round 2 when they played the Texans. Now, I'm going to get pushback on this, and somebody's going to say, hey, no, I remember a time when the Eagles went up against the Seahawks and Saquon Barkley had a good game. Good for you. It doesn't help me. I know, of course, it can happen, but why would I put myself in a situation where I require some weird shit to happen? Same thing with the Patriots. For all my hype about the Patriots, it's going to be the final. And if you load it up on Patriots players, you get the Broncos, a team that dominated the Patriots last year. And like, Patriots could still win the game, but are they going to put up big numbers? Is the Broncos defense going to remain number one overall? We'll see. But those are the kind of things that we can get little edges by avoiding. What the hell do I want to take on a team that's playing the Broncos in week 17 when the money is actually on the line? I'm going to avoid it. Give me a team like the Jaguars who are playing the Commanders and the Cowboys in the playoff weeks. That's a fucking good schedule. They're playing the worst teams. Or the Giants. Why do I like Dart? Why do I like Malik? Well, they get through the Browns, who are not that good anyway. And then they get the Lions and the Cowboys in the playoff weeks that matter. If the Giants players stay healthy all throughout the season, the Giants are going to lead teams to final week championships. So if I'm doing this contest, this DraftKings, these style of contests, I am paying attention to those leagues. Squidward, yes, I'll do a little breakdown here at the end. Actually, I'll start it now. I already looked at Zanny's draft, so I'll do the next few here. Manny Wilson, Who do we want to take for my last pick? Dongas, Penix. I think you could take Penix here. 6. Could definitely take Penix. Any running backs of interest? Maybe DeMarcado as a miracle backup, but no. Bourne, DK, Alik Ayomanor. None of these guys are relevant. Troy Franklin, maybe a little bit, but probably not. No. And then tight ends, all garbage. So let's go. I have a weird... Wait. Yeah, I'm going Penix. I think Penix will be playing quarterback for that team pretty soon. All right. Quick breakdowns here. We already looked at Ray Zanny. Great draft. Fucking textbook draft. Let's see if my other DFS Army brothers were able to pull off the same, or sisters. I don't know. I don't know what you are. I'm not here to judge. Brothers and sisters. Chasbro, Omarion Hampton for Orange Peel. Love it. Love it. It's a weird start, but I don't think Brown, and I think actually Chase Brown and Omarion will be a lot of these people who start here on the 12th pick. So the jump of Chase Brown, Omarion Hampton, we got Zay Flowers, Moore, and then Lamar with Zay Flowers combo. Very nice. Carnell the Gazelle, Kylie Pitter, Blake Corum, third running back off the board. So kind of a little soft there at the RB3. Monungai, Pierce starting off the season injured. Shakir Andrews. So we filled out another piece with Lamar. Hopefully you get Ja'Cory Lane later on. I'm really curious. Really curious to see if that happens. We got Tank Bigsby and Davis. I think this may be a little reachy on Davis, a little too soon. Tank Dell, again, also maybe a little reachy, but I love it. Bateman, what happened to Lane? Let's see what happened. What happened to Ja'Cory Lane? Oh man, he got jumped to 150. I don't blame you for missing Lane at 115. That is a crazy high pick of him. Guna Helm to go with the Cam Ward share. So we got Cam Ward with Guna and Carn. Now I know why you want me to look at this draft, Orange Peel. It is a solid draft. Guna. So we got a nice little build around for Cam Ward. We got a nice build around for Lamar. Who's the third quarterback? Deshaun Watson. That's the poison on your team. I don't think, I mean, Bateman might play. Okay. It's good for a final pick, but I think he probably will play. But more importantly, Deshaun Watson is poison. Bad luck. Let's see what Heisenberg did. Heisenberg. Guys, remember, before you go, tonight at 8, first night of backtest season begins. Showdowns. Be ready. Do not miss this. Gummies will be involved as well. I'm letting you know in advance. It's nighttime. If it's after dark, it's amongst friends. It's VIP only. It's amongst friends, not on the video feed, guys. You got to be a DFSARMY subscriber. That link will be dropped in our Discord where we go to backtest season. If you're not signed up at DFSARMY, guys, why are you watching this? Go fucking do the year of DFSARMY football. You get the college also. Do the full football because college football is amazing and it already started. You get a whole season, 20% off. It's like $300. 20% off takes to $240, not per month, for the year. People think it's monthly. If you go to my competitors, the other sites in the space that have lesser tools with shit fucking projections, They're $300 a month. That's how they keep the average Joes, the regular players, out of the fucking spotlight. They want to keep you down. They charge $300 a month. DraftKings has a pocket max. DraftKings has 150 max entry contest that I won 4 last year. I won 4 pocket max tickets last season. They're penny entries, and you win $1,000 ticket into a contest that has a $200,000 prize. I had 4 of those penny, and it was $1.50 entries running 150 lineups. Yes. I don't have, one of the things we did at DFS Army is we never raised the price on somebody who remains subscribed, which is why most of our subscribers go back many, many years. There's no raising of a price. The price has gone up because it has to. There's just fewer people playing DFS today than there were 10 years ago. It's just a physical number. There's fewer. Price does have to go up a little bit just to kind of maintain what we're doing. But I never raised the price. We don't even have the ability in our system to raise the price on you once you're signed up, which is why I still have some people here who have full VIP for as little as $16 a month. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for being here. Yeah. Just saw a little thing about Judas Priest today. Side note. Tebow Time came in second at least 4 times. That's what I'm saying. I got 4 tickets last year. These are $1.50 or $15 to enter 150 lineups. We're going to be maxing the shit out of those all season long. So I'm telling you, you need the optimizer. You're going to want to learn the settings. You're going to need to understand how our contest simulation works. It is the best version of a contest sim that can be done. I have the ability to do anything with code, but this is the best form that I found. The sim boost that we use at DFS Army, you control it. Not everybody's using the same sim. That's the way to do it. So check that out. Promo code. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to stick it for a second here. More efficient with the optimizer. I won a DFS for the first time last year with your content. Fucking love you, Beebs in the trap. So here's how it goes. Make sure you're in our Discord. That's number 1. You're going to go on to DFS Army. Make sure you're in a Discord. You're going to sync up your account and all of that. Next, you're going to go on to DFSARMY.com, NFL, and you're going to click on the playbooks right here. This link. This is going to give you these 5 books, the data studies that I worked on. I spent 18 hours a day in the fucking basement, looking pale. I haven't seen the sun, went outside, got burnt 2 seconds in. That's how much I was in the basement. Cracking the DFS code for main slates, the showdown codeouts for showdowns, how to stack. This is the optimizer settings and approaches for showdowns, the optimizer settings and approaches for main slates, and then check out the Shark study. I love this. We looked at the top 20 ranked players on Roto Grinders for NFL. I looked at every fucking lineup these guys have put into any large size tournament over the last 4 seasons. 2 seasons? I think it was 2 years. Can't remember now if it was 2 years or 4 years, but I think it was over the last 2 seasons. I give you how much money they made. Of this 5-pack of pros, only really 3 of them are profitable, and 2 out of those 3 won a milli maker to be basically, for these guys, if they didn't win a milli maker, they're losing a shit ton of money. And it actually gave me good feelings to know that these guys who you think are these big names who are winning all the time, they lose a lot, and they lose a lot of money. Like numbers that are staggering. Like one guy, McLovin, in these contests over 2 years is down well over $500,000. Doesn't mean he's losing money playing DFS, by the way. We didn't measure everything. We only looked at big GPPs. But how do you like knowing that, like I said, McLovin, who's probably up overall because he's a cash game guy, but has blown $500,000. Let's see where yeah, it goes by name. Dink Piece, Hijbu, Osimo, Osimo, no longer a top player by volume. Nerdy Tenor, all these names that you've heard. JBC, very, 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 very big losses over the last couple of years. Shady Advice, a couple of successful ones. Giant Squid, Need Lunch Money, and Utica. Those are the winning ones. These are like the top 3 were the guys that won money. And we get into how they're doing it. We get into what is it that they do. And I don't mean like knowing their picks, but rather, do they go all in on certain picks? Do they lean into their leans? Do they just allow the projections to do the work? What do their final lineups look like? Are they stacking? Are they triple stacking? Double? Yeah, those guys are all pros. Chief ST, the man. Chief ST is not in the study because for the last couple of years, I've not done a ton of milli makers or those contests. I've been in like different ones, mostly mini maxes, and I can't find them. Like I didn't save those. So I know my style of play already. And I've had wins. I've showed you guys those wins. We won an afternoon only last year. I had a couple of 10K wins last season. How the fuck did those guys? You know what? Peter Porker, again, they're called pros. But if you take a look, a lot of these guys are losing money. And I think a lot of them make most of their money in cash games or other approaches that are very mindless. Yeah, Utica is one of the best out there. I haven't done any. I've in the past I've done NFFC, a couple of entries, but the problem is the reason I didn't do it this year, I'm just keeping it real, is because I've done them with Sislowski the last few years, and I just forget to update the team because it's such a weird format. I don't remember to do waivers and do all the things. So it's my win ratio is very difficult because I forget about it because I'm so busy with DFS in season, which is why for the DFS Army leagues, I'm doing best ball ones. I cannot give myself extra tasks to do during the NFL season. I'm just wildly bogged down with this job. So, I just put a lot of effort into the shit and it hurts my game in like an NFFC or one of these, especially where it requires me to look at an app that I'm just not trained to look at. I quit. I had a 14-year CBS fantasy dynasty league that I quit last year because like I can't keep remembering to open CBS app for this stupid league. Like I don't use CBS for anything but that one league. So I had to quit it. I was like, yeah, I love my team, but I'm going to quit it. Yeah, Shady is good. Ball of Squid. But here's the thing. Here, you want to hear something interesting? Let me, you know what? While we're here and it's just amongst us friends, some of these guys represent, like Giant Squid represents a particular brand, an optimizer. And he wins. He's a good player. But you see in the Shark study, they're not using those tools generic the way it's taught. They're not doing that. These guys are going heavy on certain players. They're not doing the things that necessarily the tools that they're trying to sell you do. They do it their own separate way. Like guys like this, these guys were hired by optimizer companies. They were not using those. And that's the lesson that I took out of a lot of this. I was looking through it. I'm like, these guys aren't running these optimizers generic. They're fully going all in on their personal leans. What they're winning with does not lean to anything. DFS video show. Again, so let me, a little bit of what's been going on here. You will see redraft videos popping up on the channel throughout this week. I recorded a bunch of them already for this week of sleepers and all that kind of thing. For the majority of this week and next week, DFS Army insiders, members, I'm going to be doing backtest streams where we go through everything that I've learned in all of my studies and effectively the showdown and how to attack main slates 1 and 2. So we're going to be going through showdowns and main streets on VIP streams. Those are going to be at 8 o'clock. And those links to those streams are going to be dropped in the DFS Army Discord for our members. And that's because we're going to be teaching how to use the optimizer in the most optimal way. And if you're not a DFS Army subscriber, you don't have access to that optimizer, so it doesn't matter to you. So we're going to put those behind the DFS Army paywall for members only. And that's part of what we do. We're teaching our members, average Joes, to compete on a level playing field with pros. If you're not backtesting, if you're not learning how to do the optimizer, or if you go to a site and they're like, click optimize and click a like and 2 players on your own, that's it. Bullshit. That does not work. Those people do not win. So we're going to teach you how to win, and we're going to show the wins in backtest mode. That's going on this week. And then let me look at the calendar real quick, because usually, yeah, here we go. Next week, yeah, next week is go time. So that's going to happen this week. Next week, you'll start to see the DraftKings first look, the FanDuel first look. They'll happen like 2 weeks in advance of midweek next week. We're going to give extra time, maybe a tournament tactics that comes up earlier. We're going to have a monster showdown breakdown. We got Wednesday football, Thursday football the following week. So this current week, back testing, training, a little bit into next week. And then about middle of next week, we're going all week 1. And you're going to see all of the week 1 content coming out here on DFSARMY YouTube channel. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. Guys, we're at like, I think I'm 50 subscribers away from 30,000 subscribers on this channel. So if you're watching this, I need 50 more. I've been trying to hit 30,000 this offseason on DFSARMY YouTube channel. I think we're 50 away. So if you have not subscribed to the channel here, please do so. Guys, thanks for hanging out today. Good luck. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Another best ball stream. This time, make sure you're signed up drafters. We're going to be giving away another ticket. We're going to do some more of those survivors. We're going to have a lot of fun. So check it out. Stay tuned. Appreciate you all. And I'll see you all tonight at 8 for Showdown backtest action. Let's fucking go. Helmets up.